Hello, Amanda. Thanks for reaching out to me on Facebook. I'm more than glad to help you. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that I do to make this music happen. And if I end up sending this video to anybody else to help them, well, hello to all of you too. But right now, I'm just going to mention Amanda because she's the one that reached out to me. In front of you, you just see my whiteboard behind me. Most all of this stuff that I got from my whiteboard came from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is a great place to go check out. Lots of cheap stuff. Even the rule sheet that's back there came from Dollar Tree. My houses is something that I inherited. I think that somebody colored them and laminated them. But it's always nice to have a nice clean looking space to show the children. But really, my space isn't all that clean because underneath all of this. I have a huge fold-out table, and I have all kinds of stuff going on out here that I need, but the kids can't see, which I like. So I can have a bunch of stuff. I can have my drinks. I can have whatever else out here, and they never see it. I've actually got my piano out right here too. I also have another monitor that I use over here. So it's basically, I posted a post the other day about Megadeth. That's the way I feel from the Dwight in the office of having Megadeth in front of me. But it's really nice. During the pandemic, I was doing it from home, and I had my kitchen counter, and I had a similar situation. But I do have this fold-out table, and then I have a cart in front of me, which I have everything on. I've got probably 5 or 6, 7 textbooks up there just to lift my camera up. So now you know what's going on there. I'm going to jump over to slide presentation now to sort of show you how I do this stuff. I'll take some time just to pause a minute or two so you can pause it so you can find this stuff later on. I do use a program called OBS. It's Open Broadcaster Software. Now, I record a lot of stuff and post it up. If you have to do your musics live, which we're thinking about having to do that here, you can do a lot of the same things using Zoom. I find it a little bit more difficult to do these things in Zoom, and also my administrators have some functions locked down in Zoom. So I like the OBS. It's something that I downloaded on my personal computer. If you can't download in your district, you're going to have to put a request in to see if you can get it downloaded. But like I say, I'm bringing my personal laptop for a lot of this stuff just to work that around. So I'm going to go to my slideshow presentation so you can sort of see what I'm talking about here. Now you can't see this yet because I haven't shared my screen yet, but in OBS I can actually assign different scenes, which is real nice. So right now we are on my webcam scene, but if I just press the letter S, now we can go to where you're just totally seeing my screen. And if I press the letter B, then you can actually see both screens. You can see me in the corner and you can see the presentation. I like this. This is a little easier for me than sometimes doing it in Zoom because I can assign little hotkeys in this program itself so I can do this. So if you want to download it yourself, here's the Open Broadcaster software. Just go in, get it downloaded. Pretty straightforward to use. It takes a little bit to set up these things called scenes. Let me go back to just sharing my screen. So I cut it off a little bit here on the side. I'm sorry, but you see in the program itself, there's scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. That's how I'm jumping back and forth because in this program I've created little scenes for each webcam. So I have, I can go from you seeing me on my webcam, I can go for sharing my screen, or once again, I can do the both. So I'll go back to just sharing my screen here. Plenty of videos out there. This is a really popular program. You can figure out how to do it. Just watch some YouTube videos. That's what I did. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Inside this is this hotkeys things. So you can decide what keys you want to press to make this thing do what you want, and it can just be one letter, whatever. You get to decide what you want to do. That's what I really like about this program because you get to decide what button you want to press. Makes it nice. All right, we'll move on. This is the microphone that I bought that I use. So luckily, I think I bought this before they all sold out. It says currently unavailable. It was only $32 and it's did a really nice job. I think this is a cheap knockoff of the microphone that they call the Snowball. Uh, I think the Snowball was like $48, but they were back ordered. It's going to take weeks to get in. I actually got this one on Amazon, but you don't have to get this circle-shaped mic. There's plenty of USB mics out there. I do recommend getting one since we are musicians. It just gives a lot cleaner sound and quality than just your laptop or whatever is going to give you. Sorry, you can't see it, but I got to take off my name badge. These things drive me crazy. Not having to wear a name tag for 5 months around my neck has been great. Now I have to do it again. So, all right, let me move on. This thing has saved my life. I love this thing. It costs a lot of money. I didn't know if I would end up liking it or not, but I have ended up loving it. So this is a foot pedal control for your Google presentation or your Google Slides presentations or your PowerPoint. It works in both. It's a little glitchy when you use live. You sort of got to click on your presentation sometimes to get it to work again. It works great in this program. But yeah, so all I do is I have to just touch a pedal with my foot and it goes right to the next slide or back one. When I'm playing my ukulele, this works out great, so I don't have to stop playing. I can just move on. It has worked out really well. They are still available. $72. It's a little pricey. I thought this was an overpriced item. If you find something a little cheaper, hey, let me know. But for now, this is working for me. Just a cheap web camera is what I'm using. $25. It doesn't have to be great. I find that a lot of the webcams in PCs are not great. It seems like Apple products do a lot better, especially if you're using an iPad or something like that. Even your cell phone is going to do a lot better job than just your laptop's camera. But this one's worked out well. It's got a little bit of a zoom feature there in the front, focus. It's been okay. For $25, you can't complain. All right, so let's get on to maybe my philosophy. There are some people who buy into this 100%. There's other people that don't necessarily buy into it 100%. I'm probably one of those mixed people. I find some of the stuff in here a little stale, a little old, but I do agree with the philosophy that's in this First Steps in Music curriculum. I'll go over here. Basically, and I know it's hard to read, but you can actually find this if you Google it. It just talks about how we're trying to make people and future adults tuneful, beatful, and artful people. So they call it the 30-year plan. That if they've been in music and they've been involved in this, and they really did, 30 years from now, that they're going to be able to sing Happy Birthday, they're going to be able to sing it in tune, they're going to be able to keep a beat. Are they going to be excellent, amazing musicians? Well, maybe. But that's not necessarily our primary goal. Our primary goal is to make them tuneful, beatful, and artful people. I agree with this philosophy. I hear enough people sing Happy Birthday very badly that, maybe it's not that hard to develop some sense of pitch inside your head. I don't know. But this is philosophy I'm going with now. It might change later on, but I like this. So his philosophy has basically 8 parts to every lesson. Are you going to get to these 8 parts in every lesson? Absolutely not, especially doing this virtual learning stuff. He actually gave a seminar a couple days ago. I think it's up on the Fame's website right now, that he says that the first 4 are the most important and the others can happen later. So the first 4 really are the developing voice, and then the later are for beat movement, stuff like that. Pitch exploration. I'll switch back to my web camera here real quick, and it's also going to be in my presentation here in a bit. Get yourself a slide whistle. It's great. I get so tired of having to do woo all the time. Now I do it to show the kids how it's supposed to go. But get yourself a slide whistle, save your voice. They're good, and it's great for vocal exploration. You can get on the internet and find all kinds of little patterns that the kids can follow with their fingers. It's real easy, but this slide whistle really, really helps. They actually have books now that's about vocal exploration. So check that out, and check this out too. So fragment songs, echo songs, call and response, you all know what that one is. I always start every year with Down by the Bay. It's my favorite one. Simple songs are songs that the kids can sing by themselves without your help. And it's one of these things that First Steps is all about the kids singing for you not singing to the children or with the children. So especially in simple songs, you want them to be able to sing these songs all by themselves without your help. Now, in the first few times, of course, you're going to model for them. But just pick, happy birthday, stuff like that. Now, it doesn't have to be happy birthday, and you're going to build on stuff that you want to do, but stuff that they can sing by themselves. And call and response and echo, you're going to do it, they're going to do it. Simple. Arioso, some people love this, some people swear by it. I've heard some people say this is the most important thing out of all of it. I try and do this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this is where you give the child an idea to make their own songs off of. So you might have, and this is where puppets work well. I'll show you here. So if I have my bee puppet, let me get to my other slide here. So if I have my bee puppet in Arioso, we might make, we might say that, what do you like about this bee? And whatever you say about this bee, you have to sing. So I'm going to start saying, bees like honey. Or the next student might say, I am scared of bees, 'cause they might sting me. But whatever they want to sing in response is fine, as long as they are singing. And if they don't want to do that kind of response, you just move right on to the next person. First Steps isn't about making anybody do anything, but we're wanting to create an environment where the kids want to do that. And puppets really, really, really make it easy for a child to do it. It takes the attention away from them and it puts it on the puppet. And you might even pass around, I forget, I think I'm still on my webcam. Let me press the W again just to make sure. Yeah, I'm still on it. So you can also use like Beanie Babies, stuffed animals, all kinds of stuff, or you can pass it to them and they can do their voices that way. Makes Arioso work well. I like Arioso. I can't say that I do it all of the time, but I think it is important. Number 4, Songtales. Songtales is all about demonstrating a proper voice, a beautiful voice. And there's all kinds of great songtales out there, but it's basically showing the kids how the adult voice or a child's voice can sound in its purest form and, great form. Kids, eventually they will sing with you on the songtales, but it's important in the beginning that you give a performance for the children. A lot of the times that songtale happens right at the very end, just for something nice for the kids to wrap up with. Movement exploration, there's all kinds of stuff on the FAME website called Move-Its, and there's tons of stuff on YouTube that you can do little movement activities too. I'll show you some stuff here in a minute later on about some scarves and stuff like that, but I'll finish this first. Movement for form and expression, feeling those A-B sections, feeling repeats, stuff like that, and then movement with the beat. I would say that you can do most of all of this in virtual learning, maybe not. Just try and make sure you hit those first 4 heavily. I always like to do a songtale too. It's really up to you. It's not set in stone that you have to do this, but let's say that you have 2 music classes a week. Your ultimate goal should be to get all 8 of these activities into that. There's that slide whistle. This is the one I have. $10, it'll really save your voice from having to do that stuff. Since I'm a man and I do sing low, I am a tenor, so I can pop up in that octave, but I don't want to, spend 6 hours a day in that octave. So slide whistle helps a lot. Oh, these are great. Now, when I bought these, you can see the prices up top. I think I paid 17, 18 bucks for it, somewhere around there. But these are great finger puppets. They show well on your webcam. Those other puppets, I mean, they can get really expensive, but these right here, they can do the same job for just the same amount of money. Now, if you're in-person learning, these are a little bit small. They fall a little flat. The children like the bigger puppets, but for this kind of learning, these finger puppets work great. Here's the ukulele that I use. I used to be a piano player and CD player and all that kind of stuff a couple years ago, though I picked up the ukulele and I have really enjoyed it. It gets me up out of my chair. It lets me move around. It's been great. I've really enjoyed the ukulele, and it's pretty easy too. I found that I've picked it up pretty quickly, and I actually have a hand that's a little messed up from a car accident, so it makes bridging a guitar a little hard for me. It's like, I've got a little bit of arthritis in my hand, but this tenor ukulele, it makes everything real nice. It's different than a soprano ukulele because it's just a little bigger. It moves the chords out a little bit. It's just more comfortable for me. So I didn't pay 80 bucks. I bought one on Scratch and Dent. I think it ended up being like 52 bucks. If you watch Amazon, a lot of the times you can get that used stuff for a lot cheaper, and there's not much wrong with it. I mean, it has a little scratch on the side of my ukulele. I'll show it to you here. I'll put my webcam up again. But, that little scratch right there took $30 off the price. So that's fine with me. It's going to get beat up anyways. I did put a low G string on my ukulele, and it gives that low guitar sound at the bottom. So most ukuleles, this G string is actually a high string than the other chords, but with this low string, it almost sounds like a guitar, which I like that guitar sound a little bit better for what I'm doing. It's just nice. The ukulele sounds okay too. I just like that lower G, drop G sound. If you don't know how to play ukulele, there are these things out there that gives you, enough chords to do simple songs, and you just strap it on there. And I think this one's actually for a guitar. They make them for the ukulele too, and it's an easy way. Now, you're just going to get some straight sounding guitar strumming out of this. You can't do much fancy with it, but you don't need to do anything fancy. So if it's something you want to look into, go for it. I personally haven't bought one of these, but hey, for 15 bucks, it might be worth trying it. They do make capos for ukuleles too. This is great. You can put things in, the key of C and some of these other F, G that are easy to play on the ukulele in those keys, and just use a capo. It's awesome. Chordify is a website that I use. It actually blocks me here at school. Who knows, I don't know why they block things, why they don't. But Chordify has all kinds of new, popular, old songs that you can just look up the chord progressions to everything, and they've got it for ukulele. They've got a guitar. You can transpose it, and if you pay $7 a month, which I have did the last couple months, if there's a song that you don't know the chords to and you can't find them, you can upload the song to Chordify. And once you upload it, they will give you the chord progressions, and you can actually print them out and everything. It's awesome. It has saved my life because my ear is not strong enough to sit and listen to know what, F minor 7 add 13th is. Some people are, but my ear is not. So it really helps me. These scarves I love to do when we're in person learning, but virtual learning, they also help because they just do that splash of color every once in a while in your lesson just to wake the kids up a little bit, so you can add these while you read a book or something like that, just to say, hey, here's a little color, and it just catches the eye, gets attention back on your lesson. 20 bucks, 30 of them, it ended up working out real well. I love to do these in person. Virtual, like I say, I will use them along with the song, and you can always ask them to maybe find a handkerchief, or heck, they can even use a Kleenex at home if they want to do a scarf dance with you. Okay, I thought I had went back to the beginning. Down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see my cursor. I think you can, but there's an orange cone with these little white stripes called VLC Media Player. This is awesome because I found out a new feature here recently that I'm going to show you. We'll go back to that VLC Media Player here. Just remember that that exists and that is a thing. Take a note that it's there. And I'm going to show you a feature here in just a second, but let me go on. I don't trust the internet here at school, so I download all of my YouTube videos, so I don't have any problems with any of that. This is an online service you can use. You know, it works. I don't know if it gets a bunch of viruses or whatever. I'm not for sure, but I know it does work. And like I said, I download my YouTube videos with this thing. Some videos are sort of strange and they won't download. I'll show you another way around that. But KeepVid, it works if you can't download a service. If you can download some stuff, I like this better, this WinX YouTube downloader. A little bit more control of what's going on. I just like this service a little better. You can choose what you want to use to keep your YouTube videos. All right, that gets me done with that part of the presentation. So I'm going to jump over and show you what I'm talking about. See, here's the cone again on this VLC Media Player. Now here's, what is this one? Over in the Meadow. This is actually a songtail that I use a lot. And it's really nice. And it's by this YouTube channel called Barefoot Books. There are tons and tons and tons of great videos out there from Barefoot Books. Now, I do own this book too. And when you own a book, from my understanding, and I might be wrong with this, is that you can present them in your lessons because it would be exactly like you reading a book to the kids in your class. So it's more than welcome. Now, me posting it on Facebook, I'm probably in the gray on that. They probably wouldn't necessarily encourage me doing that. I don't know. I'm going to let your conscience guide that. But I do own this book, so I can do this. And if you want to learn how to do this too, you can do this part too. I'm trying to be a little sneaky here on how I'm saying this, but you can always go into YouTube and look for this and do this same process once you own the book. All right. So if I wanted to include this song in my presentation, I would go to my video feature here, and I can go to take a snapshot. Now, as soon as I did that, that sent that to my pictures file. And now, if I want to sing the song with my kids, or if I want to do this song, now I can take this very picture and use it in my presentation. So if I want the kids to sing along with me singing it instead of watching the video, all I would have to do is take a snapshot again. And then I have this for my material to use at your own discretion. And then you can click and drag it. You can do it in your PowerPoint presentation, and you can share it from there. Okay, I think that I've probably talked just about enough with that. I don't want to give you too much information and overwhelm you. Hopefully that will give you a good footing. If there's anything else you would like from me, hey, go for it, ask me. I do have about probably 25 or 30 videos up right now. So if you want some ideas on some lessons, hey, go check it out. And I'm more than welcome to help you. I hope that you all have a great day, and good luck to you in all this virtual learning stuff. All right, see you later.